have another barrier presentation to share. And so it's around skills and training gaps. So I'd like to welcome Linda Larsen, our publications coordinator here at CDAC, to present on these findings. So I'm really excited to hear from Linda. So thanks, Linda, for presenting, and welcome.
Good morning, everyone. It's great to join you here today. I'm going to be talking about skills and training gaps. But before we do that, I would like to start by discussing some of the overall energy efficiency workforce here in Illinois, giving you a big picture view of the numbers. How many people are in the energy efficiency workforce, and is it growing? Is it shrinking? What does that look like? So we're going to start with a little poll question. So in Illinois, how much did energy efficiency jobs grow in 2019? All right. Thank you. It looks like most of you are somewhere in the range of 4%, 6%, 8%. Let's learn about the actual growth here. All right. So energy efficiency employers in Illinois predicted that there would be 8% job growth in 2019. But actually, we just saw 1.7% job growth, which is significant, but a little bit less than what we were quite a bit less than what we were expecting. So we have 91,000 workers at the end of 2019. Now, according to the U.S. Energy and Employment report, energy efficiency employers predicted 4% growth in 2020, but that's of course not what happened because of the pandemic. So we've seen about 9% decline in energy efficiency jobs since pre-COVID-19, and this is in Illinois. We were up here at 91,000 at the beginning, and then we dropped rapidly in March and April. We've seen some growth, but it's been slow, and we're still far below what we were pre-COVID. Now, the other issue is that we've been experiencing hiring difficulty even before the pandemic. So I have another quick poll question for all of you. In Illinois in 2019, what percentage of energy efficiency employers indicated that it was somewhat difficult or very difficult to fill jobs? All right, we've got a bunch of 70%, some 50%, a little bit of 90 and 30. Okay. All right, let's take a look at the actual results from the U.S. Energy the U.S. Energy and Employment Report. In 2019, 61% of employers that were surveyed indicated that it was very difficult, and 29% said somewhat difficult. So if you add those up, that's a full 90% of Illinois energy efficiency employers that indicated that it was difficult to fill jobs. And if you look at the 2018 numbers, almost double the amount of employers indicated that it was very difficult. So to me, this indicates a big problem, that we are not growing as much as we should, and also it's hard for energy efficiency employers to fill those jobs. Now, according to the report, there were some, there's a large range of energy efficiency jobs, and some of those jobs are more difficult to fill than others. The construction industry, they make up about 50% of the energy efficiency workforce. And these darker blue squares indicate where the majority of employers are having a hard time filling jobs. So installation workers, technical, mechanical support, here in manufacturing, production positions, and in trade and distribution, sales and marketing. But these other positions too express difficulty. Engineering and science, you see this, sales and marketing in several of these sectors, and finally inspectors. So the purpose of this particular presentation is to explore why it's difficult to fill jobs. So there were three main reasons that that the U.S. Energy and Employment Report shared. And these reasons were also supported by our own research in Illinois in conducting interviews with employers and training providers. So the number one reason that employers gave was the lack of experience, training, and technical skills. And these are some of the things that our interviewees said. It's just a lot easier to train someone that already has a background in the trades. So they wanted people to have trade skills. Math, they need to understand numbers and calculations to use a spreadsheet. They wanted experience. It would be nice if job candidates had the ability to walk right onto an installation without having to do months and months of training. And then finally, using tools. You can't be clumsy with power tools. So our interviews indicated that trade programs often do a good job of teaching basic carpentry, mechanical, and technical skills, but they're often light on the energy efficiency, or they may not address the building as a system, a whole system approach. And some of the energy efficiency specific programs like weatherization training or BPI training, they may do a great job of covering some of those energy efficiency skills, but some trainees, especially those without a trade background, may need more remedial courses and hands-on learning opportunities. So the employers that we interviewed, many of them did indicate that they do expect to do some training on the job. They don't need employees to have everything down when they come on the job, but they indicated that qualified job candidates meant a short training period, whereas unqualified job candidates, they might take 2 or 3 times longer to train. And that really results in lost revenue for these struggling energy efficiency employers. The second main reason that energy efficiency employers gave for the hiring difficulty was competition and a small applicant pool. So this is some of the things that we heard. We train them, we get them interested in it, and somebody flips them a different job with more money and they just run off. Pay, they're fine working really hard, but they'd like to at least be making something that matches up with what they're doing. And then finally, too many choices. There's just so many different options to choose from, you know. And then the third main reason that employers gave for hiring difficulty was insufficient non-technical skills. So business skills, entrepreneurial skills, dependability, communication, critical thinking, those were all noted by the employers that we interviewed. One said, they need essential skills, showing up on time, putting in a day's work, being punctual and accountable. So in short, the training needs that were identified through our research was they'd like to see more energy efficiency content in the trade programs, especially at community colleges. Employers would like more remedial courses offered for those who may be underprepared for the work they're doing. Many indicated that they'd like to see more hands-on learning opportunities, as well as more opportunities to learn soft skills. And then finally, although many of our interviewees did indicate that they have strong relationships, that trainers do have strong relationships with employers, many of them would like to see those relationships strengthened. One employer said, we have not been approached by any kind of training programs that are able to provide qualified applicants for what we do. And then another trainer said, if we're producing people that no one's hiring, then that's just a program. It's just there to make me look good, suggesting the need to work together, to have trainers and employers work together to make sure that their training programs are meeting the needs of employers. Several people we interviewed talked about the important need of making training opportunities more accessible. And this really relates to what we were talking about earlier, what Robin was talking about earlier with increasing diversity. So is it possible to have training delivered in community hubs so people don't have to travel so far? Can training be offered for different schedules so people who are already working can be trained at night? Can training be tailored to a particular population? Can online training options be offered? Can more credentialing or certification be offered so that people don't necessarily have to go through a degree program to become trained? And then how can we access more Workforce and Innovation and Opportunity Act funding to train people?